Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to our exploration of the Maori people, an indigenous people whose significance in New Zealand's history and culture is profound. In this journey, we aim to discover the origins, livelihood, language, beliefs, traditions, and folklore of the Maori people. Join us as we uncover the rich tapestry of the heritage of the Maori. The ancestral origins of the Maori people are steeped in rich mythology and a remarkable history of seafaring exploration. According to Maori oral traditions, their ancestors embarked on a courageous voyage from their mythical homeland of Hawaii to Aotearoa, New Zealand. The legendary story of their arrival centers around the waka canoe known as Te Aroa. It is said that the great chief Kupe set out on a journey to explore new lands. He left Hawaii accompanied by his wife, Kuramarotini, and a skilled crew. Their navigational expertise and knowledge of the stars, winds, ocean currents, and natural signs guided them across the vast stretches of the Pacific Ocean. During their voyage, Kupe encountered numerous challenges, including fair sea creatures and treacherous storms. Despite these obstacles, he persevered and continued his quest to find the new homeland for his people. After a long and arduous journey, Kupe finally sighted the shores of Aotearoa. He explored the land, charting its features and evaluating its potential for settlement. Satisfied with his findings, he returned to Hawaii to report his discoveries and prepare for the migration. Following Kupe's successful exploration, 7 waka, including Te Aroa, set sail from Hawaii to Aotearoa. These waka carried the ancestors of the Maori people, each with its own crew and leader. The migrations occurred over several generations, with different waves of settlers arriving at different times. The navigational prowess of the Polynesian seafarers, including the Maori, is a testament to their remarkable understanding of the natural environment and celestial navigation. Without the aid of modern instruments, they relied on the position of stars, knowledge of currents, bird behavior, cloud formations, and other signs from nature to guide their voyages across vast distances. Their navigational expertise allowed them to traverse the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, reaching far-flung islands and eventually discovering and settling in Aotearoa. The Polynesians' ability to navigate the open ocean with such precision is a remarkable testament to their seafaring skills and deep understanding of the natural world. The legendary story of Kupe and the remarkable navigational prowess of the Polynesian seafarers highlight the courage, resourcefulness, and ingenuity of the Maori people's ancestors. Their ability to traverse vast distances and discover new lands is a testament to their deep connection to the sea and their profound understanding of the natural world. The traditional ways of sustenance for the Maori tribe encompassed a diverse range of practices, including fishing, farming, and gathering. These methods were intricately connected to the close relationship with nature and the land. Like most Polynesians, fishing played a vital role in the Maori society, as the ocean provided a bountiful source of food. Maori fishermen, known as tangata tiaki ika, utilized various techniques to catch fish. They employed nets, lines, spears, and traps, adapting their methods to different environments and species. Fishing was not only a means of sustenance, but also a cultural practice that fostered skills, knowledge, and communal bonds. Farming, particularly the cultivation of kumara, sweet potato, played a significant role in Maori sustenance. The Maori developed sophisticated systems of agriculture, including terraced gardens, to grow crops in favorable regions. Gathering was another essential aspect of traditional Maori sustenance. Maori women, known as wahine whakairo kai, would gather a wide array of resources from the land, forests, rivers, and coastline. This included gathering edible plants, herbs, berries, ferns, shellfish, and bird eggs. The knowledge of gathering sites, seasons, and sustainable practices was passed down through generations, ensuring the preservation of natural resources. Central to the Maori way of life is their close relationship with nature and the land. The Maori have a profound respect for the environment and view themselves as kaitiaki, guardians of the land and its resources. They believe in the interconnectedness of all living beings and the responsibility to care for and preserve the natural world. One significant culinary tradition that exemplifies the Maori connection to the land is the hangi. A hangi is a traditional Maori method of cooking that involves using heated rocks buried in an earth oven. The rocks are heated by fire, and then food, such as meat, vegetables, and sometimes seafood, is placed on top of the hot stones. The food is covered with wet cloth and leaves, and the entire oven is covered with earth or cloth to retain the heat. The hangi method imparts a distinct smoky flavor to the food and is often used for special occasions, gatherings, or celebrations. It not only represents a cooking technique, but also holds a cultural and social significance, bringing people together in the enjoyment of a traditional feast. The Maori people have a complex history marked by conflicts and battles, particularly during the encounters with European explorers and the subsequent process of colonization in New Zealand. When European explorers, notably Captain James Cook, arrived in New Zealand in the late 18th century, their interactions with the Maori were initially characterized by curiosity and mutual exchange. However, as more European settlers arrived, tensions began to arise over land ownership and cultural differences. Land disputes and conflicts between Maori tribes and European settlers escalated over time. The acquisition of Maori land by Europeans, sometimes through questionable and deplorable means, resulted in significant territorial losses for the Maori people. The displacement and loss of land led to even more conflict, as Maori tribes sought to protect their ancestral territories and assert their sovereignty. One significant conflict was the New Zealand Wars, also known as the Land Wars or the Maori Wars, which took place between the 1840s and 1870s. These conflicts were sparked by disputes over land, loss of sovereignty, and conflicting interpretations of the Treaty of Waitangi. The Treaty of Waitangi, signed in 1840 between Maori chiefs and representatives of the British Crown, is a foundational document in New Zealand's history. However, differing interpretations and breaches of the treaty led to significant tensions and conflict again. The treaty guaranteed Maori rights and sovereignty over their lands and resources while granting the British Crown governing authority. However, many Maori tribes believed that the treaty had been misrepresented and that they had not fully understood the implications of signing it. The impacts of colonization and the Treaty of Waitangi were profound and had lasting effects on the Maori people. Loss of land, cultural disruption, and social and economic disparities became significant challenges faced by Maori communities. The consequences of these historical conflicts and the subsequent colonization process continue to be felt in contemporary Maori society. In recent decades, there have been efforts to address the historical injustices and promote reconciliation. The Waitangi Tribunal was established to investigate and address treaty grievances, providing a platform for Maori to assert their rights and seek redress. The treaty settlement process aims to address past grievances, support cultural revitalization, and promote a more equitable relationship between the Maori people and the New Zealand government. The Maori language, known as Te Reo Māori, holds deep significance for the Maori tribe as it is intricately tied to their identity, culture, and heritage. It serves as a vessel for transmitting ancestral knowledge, stories, values, and traditions from one generation to the next. Te Reo Māori is a Polynesian language with a distinct phonetic system and grammar. It is a language rich in metaphor, symbolism, and poetic expression. Through Te Reo Māori, the Maori people connect to their ancestral roots, expressing their worldview, spirituality, and deep connection to the natural world. Common Māori greetings and phrases are an important part of the language. Greetings such as kia ora, hello, and tēnā koe, greetings to you, are used to acknowledge and show respect to others. Phrases like ka kite anō, see you again, and e nohora, goodbye, are employed to bid farewell. The letter Q, V, or X is rarely used in Māori words. It is typically found in loan words from other languages, rather than in traditional Māori vocabulary. These greetings and phrases embody the warmth, respect, and sense of community that are integral to Māori culture. In recent years, there has been concerted effort to revitalize and preserve Māori language, driven by the recognition of the importance in maintaining Māori identity and cultural heritage. The revitalization initiatives aim to ensure the language's survival and promotes its usage in everyday life. Education plays a vital role in the revitalization efforts with the integration of te reo Maori into school curricula and the establishment of dedicated immersion schools known as Kura Kaupapa Māori. These schools provide an emergent environment where students learn aura subjects in te reo Māori, fostering fluency and cultural understanding. Additionally, community-driven language revitalization initiatives have been instrumental in promoting the use of te reo Māori. Language nests, known as kohanga reo, provide early childhood education in te reo Māori, giving young children a strong foundation in the language. Digital platforms, resources, and apps have also emerged, making te reo Māori accessible to a wider audience. These tools facilitate language learning, vocabulary building, and cultural understanding, bridging the intergenerational language gap. The preservation and revitalization of te reo Māori are essential not only for the Māori people, but also for New Zealand as a whole. Recognizing its cultural and linguistic diversity, the New Zealand government has supported language revitalization efforts, emphasizing the value of te reo Māori as its national taonga, treasure. The spiritual beliefs and practices of the Māori people are deeply rooted in their connection to the natural world, their ancestors, and the concepts of whakapapa, genealogy. These beliefs form the foundation of Māori spirituality and shape their understanding of the universe and their place within it. One fundamental concept in Māori spirituality is tapu, which refers to the sacredness and spiritual power associated with people, places, objects, and events. Tapu dictates the proper behavior, conduct, and respect that must be observed to maintain harmony and balance in the world. It serves as a guiding principle to ensure the protection and preservation of all that is considered sacred and to maintain the spiritual well-being of individuals and the community. Another key concept is mana, which represents spiritual power, authority, and prestige. Mana is both inherited and earned through acts of bravery, leadership, and upholding cultural values. It can be held by individuals, groups, or objects. Those with high mana are seen as influential figures who possesses the ability to impact the spiritual and physical realms. Mana is highly respected and is often associated with leaders, healers, and revered ancestors. Ancestral connections, known as whakapapa, are of immense importance in Māori spirituality. Whakapapa traces lineage and genealogy, establishing connections to both human ancestors and spiritual beings. It emphasizes the intergenerational linkages and the belief that people are spiritually connected to their ancestors and the land they inhabit. Whakapapa provides a sense of identity, belonging, and responsibility to the past, present, and future generations. Māori spirituality encompasses a rich tapestry of practices and rituals. These include karakia, prayers, waiata, songs, haka, war dances, and pōwhiri, welcoming ceremonies. These practices are performed to acknowledge and honour the spiritual realm, seek guidance, express gratitude, and maintain the well-being of individuals, communities, and the land. The natural world holds immense spiritual significance for the Maori people. Mountains, rivers, forests, and other natural features are often seen as living entities with their own Maori, life force. The Maori have a deep respect for these natural elements and believe in their guardianship and preservation. They view themselves as kaitiaki, guardians of the land, entrusted with the responsibility to protect and care for the environment. Traditional Maori customs encompass a wide range of practices, rituals, and art forms that reflect the rich cultural heritage of the Maori people. These customs play a significant role in Maori identity, community cohesion, and the preservation of ancestral traditions. One prominent custom is the Haka, a powerful and dynamic war dance that is synonymous with Maori culture. The Haka serves multiple purposes, including expressing unity, strength, and determination in times of conflict, as well as being performed to welcome guests, celebrate significant events, and showcase cultural pride. The Haka is characterized by rhythmic movements, fierce facial expressions, rhythmic chanting, and the striking of the body. It is an iconic representation of Maori heritage and has gained international recognition. The pōwhiri, or welcome ceremony, is another important custom in Maori culture. It is a formal process of welcoming visitors onto Maori marae, meeting grounds, and acknowledging their presence. The pōwhiri involves specific protocols, including karanga, ceremonial calls, whai kōrero, speeches, waiata, songs, and hongi, pressing of noses and greeting. The pōwhiri creates a sense of inclusivity, respect, and connection, fostering the building of relationships and ensuring the well-being of all participants. Māori customs also include significant ceremonies associated with different stages of life. The pōwhiri is a ceremony celebrating the birth of a child and the incorporation of the newborn into the community. It involves the naming of the child, prayers, blessings, and the sharing of food and stories. Tangi, a Māori funeral ceremony, is a deeply solemn and sacred occasion. It provides an opportunity for mourning, honoring the deceased, and celebrating their life. The artistry of Māori carving, weaving, and tattooing, moko, holds great cultural significance. Carvings, known as whakairo, can be found in various forms, including meeting house decorations, canoes, and traditional implements. These carvings depict ancestral figures, mythological stories, and symbols that carry spiritual and cultural meanings. Moko, traditional Māori tattooing, is a unique art form that involves the intricate placement of designs on the skin using chisels and ink. Moko carries great cultural significance, representing identity, social status, and connections to whakapapa, genealogy. Each moko design is customized and tells a specific story about the individual, their heritage, and their place within the community. These traditional customs and art forms are treasured by the Maori people as expressions of cultural identity, creativity, and spiritual connection. They serve as a bridge between past and present, strengthening cultural continuity and ensuring the preservation of Maori heritage for future generations. The Maori people's ongoing efforts to assert their sovereignty, protect their rights, and revitalize their culture highlight their resilience and determination. By embracing and honoring Maori culture, we can foster greater understanding, respect, and appreciation for indigenous heritage and contribute to a more inclusive and interconnected world.